Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. We're back today. We're going to do another follow-up to the Vegas alien story from yesterday. This time I'm not going to try to bore you with things I've already shown you. This time I'm going to try to show you things you never saw before. I've been studying this for a long time now, and of course, if you want to, I think that the evidence is already out there that shows that this serves as proof that we are not alone in this world. There's no question that there's some sort of non-human intelligent presence here. And today we're just here to study another portion of this video because, like I've been talking about, there is a lot to it, of an awful lot to it. And today we're going to be going down a deep rabbit hole, and I'll try to provide some, at the very least, some half-assed explanations or speculation, conjecture on this. I don't know what else I could say. There's some things in this video that there's no explanation for, really, and all you can do is try to guess, and probably those guesses are wrong, but that's the best we can do. The best I can do. I'm not a scientist. I'm not some video analysis expert, but I'm trying to do the best I can to get this information out there. I believe, as I've stated many times in the past, I think that this is the most important story, the biggest story of all time. I mean, this here, as far as I'm concerned, as far as anyone should be concerned, this proves that there's some sort of extraterrestrial or non-human intelligent presence here on this planet, and that there's just no doubt about it, and the totality of the evidence points in that direction. But today, like I said, I don't want to talk too much about things I've already went over. There's so many different things I talk about all the time about, and refer to the last video or the last several videos that I've done on this. If this is the first time you're checking out my show, my podcast, I think that it would serve you well to check out the previous video that I've done on this, the previous podcast, as well as several others. Recently that I went over this. I've provided a timeline of events. I mean, there's just so much to it. Today, basically, I'm interested in focusing on one certain segment of the video that was filmed by the Kenmore family last year during the early morning hours of May 1st, 2023. Of course, as we all know, something came down in their yard. It was captured on cell phone video. It was captured on body cam, not cell phone video. The object was captured on body cam footage from a police officer. It was captured from different security cameras. And then, of course, there were beings in their yard. Three witnesses saw two 8 to 10 foot tall creatures that definitely were not human. We have evidence that shows that those things are there, as I went over numerous times ad nauseum on this podcast. But as we all know, I think that and a lot of us believe now, that there were numerous, not just those two, there were other creatures there too. As I've pointed out recently, there's most certainly some sort of there's at least looks like what looks like a small gray in the video as well, in the 1 minute and 41 second video that was filmed by Contra Kenmore, the matriarch of the Kenmore family. And that's what it is. I mean, there's evidence now, and this evidence has been confirmed by different experts, including crime scene reconstruction expert Scott Roeder, and but there's more to this video. Like I've been saying, of course, when this object came down, as we all know, Angel Kenmore, one of the sons, him and his brother Joshua were out working on a vehicle at the time, and he reported that what he heard after this object landed and then became invisible to him, he heard what sounded like thousands of footsteps going off in all different directions. Now, I've been focusing on the video in the previous show. For the most part, I was focusing on when they first go into after they get chased out of the yard, and the creature and after the creature appears above the fence with that 8 to 10 foot tall being that appears above the fence. After that happened, I was focusing on a segment of the video where they first enter the backyard after getting chased out, and they open up the gate and they look at it, and they're pointing the cell phone camera at the heavy equipment in the background that's beyond the pickup truck. And then, of course, there is the little creature that I've been talking about, what I believe is a little gray. And that was the part I've been focused on. But today I want to focus on when they zoomed in. After they zoomed in, I haven't really been talking about that a lot on this show. Right there, when they zoom in, there's action that is continuing there. There is a lot of strange, anomalous activity that occurs, and that's what I want to talk about, particularly in this little area right here. And that's what we're going to go through today. There's some very strange things, and at first blush, you just do not see it. But today I'm gonna show you some things that I don't know what to think, obviously, or I wouldn't be doing this show. Anyway, here is zoomed in. After they zoom in, I zoomed in on their zoom in, and here's what it looks like in real speed. I'm going to play this video right here in real speed. It's hard to see. It looks like there's movement, there's shadows, there's, who knows? It looks like there could be faces popping in and out of reality here, and then it's really hard to tell. You really can't see anything. But what I did, I'm going to play that one more time. This is just the zoomed in regular speed. I slowed it down then, and we're going to check that out. There are things that happen here after they zoom in, but unless you really take the time to see these things and look through the video, you're not going to see them. Well, here it is, right off the bat. Okay, this is a slowed down version. Okay, I just want to start it from the beginning here. Right off the bat, something pops up right there. Right when that video starts, and I had this slowed down in slow motion, there's something right here, and actually right after that too. I mean, I don't know what this is. This looks like it could be an alien head right here. Looks like there's an eye. Looks like but look, the one eye on the left side of this image is clearer than the one on the right. It looks like there's some sort of something there. I don't know how to explain it, but there's something. It looks like you can see an eye, but there's some sort of shroud or something. It looks like. Again, I think that they were using some sort of cloaking technology. And as I've talked about in the previous show, you could see all around it. There's this smoke. I don't know, this weird smoke, and I think this could be part of their technology or ability to hide themselves from cameras and probably eyeballs. And keep in mind, during this portion of the video, Bobby Kenmore, the father, was stating, he was saying over and over again, pelon, 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 which in Spanish and some other languages means bald or hairless. So they were seeing something, and during this filming of the video, but it's hard for us to see. And again, I think that it's because something was going on at the time that these beings were doing something to prevent the cell phone camera from capturing them. Because obviously, these beings do not want anyone to know that they're here. I think that's what the story is here. That doesn't make me right, but obviously that's what it is. I mean, they don't want people to know that they're here. They just don't want people to know. But you see this image here. I took a snapshot of it, and I brought it close up. So I want to just look at this before we move on. It's very strange. It pops up and then it disappears almost immediately. But here, what I thought looks like this could possibly be an eye here, and this could be an eye here. It looks like there's some kind of a weird shroud over it. But if you look at the top here, it looks like there could be is this a face too, hovering over the head that you already see? Again, I think what they're doing here, they're trying to scramble this. There could possibly be that they're scrambling the signal, and the camera's getting all sorts of picking up weird imagery, and that doesn't make sense. But you have to see. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this, but to me, it looks like this looks like it could be an alien head here with two eyes. But on the top of this bigger alien head, looks like there's a smaller alien head, like a silhouette of one. It's like almost like a ghost. It looks like an eye here, and this is the head around it. It's very strange. I have no explanation for this. And there's a lot of other very strange things that occur in this video as well, as you will soon see, that I have no explanation for. And I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if the scientific community will ever have explanations for some of these things. I just don't know. Anyway, let's start it over again. The slowed down version, the slow motion version. There's where that thing popped in, you saw it. But right after it pops in, you can notice right here on the bottom of the screen, looks like there's something here potentially. Is this a head, the top of a head of an alien? There looks like there's an eye there, possibly. I don't know. Let me look at how fast that other one though just appears and then it disappears. There it is. Now you see it. Now you don't. It's gone, and then you see something over here. But let's continue playing this slow motion version. Now, you can see the smoky cloud, and there's like some action going on here and like all around there's like weird things going on. Now let's continue to play it. I'll just play it right through so you can get an idea. Look, it looks like there's a lot of stuff going on in here in that area. I can't explain it. It's like faces morphing in and out of reality or something. I can't even. It's hard to even try to categorize what exactly is happening here. Are they moving so fast that the camera can't pick them up properly? I mean, look back here too. It looks like there's things going on. There seems like there's things going on all over this video. Look at it right there. It looked like a potential. I'm gonna go back, take it back there. Right here, it looks like for a second here, for a brief second, you get the looks like an alien face again with the big eye here, a big eye here, and head all around there. But just very briefly here and there, you get to see them, but then they disappear again. It's like something they're doing something to prevent us from filming them. And then at some points, it looks like there's eyes and heads all over the place every now and then. Like up here, like check this thing out up here. It looks like this thing is moving around. It looks like something that's taller, and every now and then it becomes a little bit more clear than it does for most of the video. But again, there's no explanation for this. But look at all this action, like movement going on, this cloud, the smoke. I mean, right here, it looks like there could be something. Looks like something potentially bigger. Like, is this a face here? Is this an eye here? But a distorted version of something, perhaps. I mean, look at, like, what's this? I can't explain this right here. I've been looking at this section right here. For it looks like there's this dark black line right here, and if you look really close, it looks like a black line that is bookcased by white, and looks like this could possibly be a head. I have no explanation for this. It's very strange. But if you look at the very top of this right here, looks like there's a head behind there with eyes on it. This is just so strange. I mean, what was happening here? What is going on? I have no clue. I don't know what they were doing. It could be that they have some sort of ability to scramble the image, the video that's being filmed, and this is what it turns out. It looks like this. It looks like a hot mess, because that's what it looks like. But at the same time, I think that these beings, I don't think they were expecting this to happen, and I think this was some sort of it doesn't make me right, man. For all we know, maybe it was planned, right? It's like some people might tell us, and they might be right. I'm just saying, I don't think that they meant. I think it was a hard landing. I think they could have had. This is just my theory. Doesn't make me right. It could have been a hard landing, and they needed to land because there was something wrong, and they needed to make repairs or who knows what, and they got caught off guard, and that's why we have this video right now. I don't think that it's not like you hear about them landing in people's backyards like this every day. Let's continue playing it. And look at this weirdness. This is one of the strangest images right here. And I'll talk about this a little bit later, but like right here, there's something, and there is something there, and I'm going to show you exactly what I think it is. And look at up here too, like there's something up here. It looks like, and if you keep your eye on the background in here in this area off to the left here, it looks like something's poking its head. It comes into view every once in a while for some reason. Like it seems like they're all over the place here. There's something very strange occurring. Okay, I'm going to continue this video. And then you see the movement of this. Okay, it looks like there's something that just popped up in the frame on the bottom there. Let's see. Yeah, it's just so weird. Like right there. Look at this. Like I can't explain this. Like, is this an eye popping in, or is this some sort of camera anomaly? I do not know. But it's very, very weird. And this whole thing, this whole video, and in just about every section you try to examine, there's weirdness going on everywhere. I mean, is this something here? Is this a blurry version of a distorted image of an alien? I mean, that's what it looks like. Looks like you're seeing faces. Is it pareidolia? Maybe some of it is, but I just don't know about that. I mean, we know, like I've been talking about, there were aliens in that backyard, and I think there were a lot more than just the two that the eyewitnesses said they saw. They did hear, as we know, Angel Kenmore said that there were thousands of footsteps going off in all different directions. Look at, there's more strangeness occurring here. I mean, I don't know. There's so much movement, and then you have this strange fog. You see this strange imagery here. Let's play it again through the slow motion version from the very beginning. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, there's so much I was seeing here just looking at this since yesterday and today. I mean, look at off to the left there. This is the area I was talking about. Is this a head appearing over here? coming into focus briefly and then disappearing. I mean, going backward right now. I mean, I could be. I mean, here, watch. I mean, there's something possibly there. Again, I think they could have been all over that yard. I just don't know. And they had the abilities they have is just amazing. And then here, I mean, this looks like there was a lot of different things going on there. Let me just play it through. Yeah, I mean, you see eyes. It looks like they're. I mean, how is this? I mean, the chances that this is all just camera anomalies. I mean, it just can't be. There's just no way that all of this is just pareidolia or camera anomalies. We know because we do have evidence that there were creatures there for sure. That the ones that we could say for sure. But then you have this, and I don't know. Like right here, look at this. It looks like there's something right here, and it also looks like there could be something right here. Like looks like there's a head, and this area here happens to be the place where Mr. Undeniable Backbreaker showed up earlier when they first started filming. But it looks like there could be something there, and you look up here too. Is this something? And is this something right here? Is this an eye here, an eye here? I mean. Again, I think it was filled with it. And there's just so many different strange images, and it just keeps morphing into different things. And again, I don't know what this is all about. Like right here, look, this right here looks like there could be. This is an alien right here. This could be a head right here, an eye there, an eye there. This is a head. It looks like it's looking in this direction over here somewhere. But that's what it looks like, just momentarily. Right, and only for a moment, or maybe are they just moving in maybe they're in another dimension? Maybe that. I mean, I don't know how that would work, but I mean, maybe they're moving faster than we are, and that's why it's hard to see them. Maybe that's what's happening, and I'll show you something. Which see, this is right here is where something strange really happens here. Like this is, I took a still picture of this right here. I can't explain, when I first looked at it, I was like, what the hell am I looking at here? But anyway, let me just show you what I've been seeing here. This is very weird. Okay, I did a close, wait, this ain't it. This was a close-up of it. And I'm looking at this and I'm trying to figure out what the hell am I looking at here? Is this like one full alien head perhaps, right? And then I realized I think I know what possibly could be going on here. It looks like they're okay, if you look at this image, okay, it looks like I don't know what this is in the front here. Is this something maybe, or is this some sort of a barricade or some sort of a shield? I don't know. But if you look at this could be one here. This could be the head of an alien here. It actually looks like this, like when you compare it with the Mr. UB Undeniable Backbreaker. It looks like it could be the same thing. And but here's the problem. It looks like there's something right aside of it, or that is blended together. I mean, maybe is that what's happening? It's moving so fast that the camera can't. It's capturing multiple images at the same time. Is that what's happening? And that's why it looks so distorted. But this looks like this could, and I actually I did a cutout, and I'll show you in a minute what I did to compare this. Why I think, if you look, okay, this is the left eye here. You could just see a part of the other eye, or actually, to our left there's an eye. It would be the creature's right eye here on this side, right? And here's the creature's left eye. It's not as you can't see it as good because it looks like there's something in the way. Is this fog or something? Is that what's blocking it? You can't see it, or is it some other creature that's distorted, or is some sort of a force field or something? Who knows? I have no explanation for it. Again, like I said, all I could offer is some half-ass speculation. This is way beyond my pay grade, but it does look like there could be eyes there. But if you look to the side here, it looks like is this an eye here and an eye here of another creature, or maybe it's the same creature and it was turning its head so fast that this is what the camera caught. This is what the camera captured. But I actually separated them. This is if you set, I actually masked off everything else. So this is the one face, and then I masked off the other face up here. The other, what I perceive could be a part of a head right there. And then what did I do next? Oh, that's not the right one. No, that's not the right one. Oh, this. Okay, this is the face from Mr. Undeniable Backbreaker. Yeah. And if you look, I try to make him, I think this is a match. As you see, if you put that over there, this could be the same kind, either the same creature or the same type of creature, A or B. If you see what I'm saying here, look at it. It looks like it could be the same thing. But I don't know how to explain all of this. To me, I think, it's hard to say. I don't think that these aliens ever expected us human beings to figure this stuff out, or that we would ever figure anything out like this. But I think if all of us keep looking at this stuff and trying to examine it, we are going to figure it out. And yeah, see, this is what I think. Look at that. You see, it's blurry and it's weird looking and obscure, but this could be the same thing that we saw earlier, before the Kenmores zoomed in. When they zoomed in, they were getting this kind of weird stuff. Look at that. Is that a fit? I think it is. I think this is the same thing. I think this is the head right here. Again, there's something in front of it. What's this? I don't know. I have no idea. Again, I have no explanation for a lot of these things, but I just think it's, this is just another, another presentation just of another segment of the video. I'll go through the whole thing again, the slow motion video. I think it's important to look at this and try to, we need to try to start understanding this. I wish the people in the scientific community, more people in the scientific community would start looking at this and trying to figure out, what is going on here? What kind of technology is at play here? Again, look at this area right here. That is so weird. And I actually did a close-up of that area, just that area. Now watch this. This is so weird. I can't make it. There's a lot of movement, action. You see faces. You don't see faces. It gets blurry. There's eyes. There's this, there's that, there's other. I don't know what to say about it. And this, look at the way it ends. It looks like there's all kinds of weird. Are we seeing a bunch of eyes here? Or was there? I don't know. Could be. Let's move that. Oh, try that one again. Yeah. I just think there's a lot of different things happening here. I think, like I've stated yesterday, and like I've stated in other videos about this, I think there were multiple creatures in that yard. And the more we look at this, the more it just proves it. Look at right in the beginning of this video, for instance, on this close-up here. Let's start that over again. Yeah, like things are moving right there. Okay, it looks like we can see an eye here, and a head. Let's keep playing it. But it keeps moving and morphing and changing and this. And, it's hard to wrap your head around it. But I think that's the whole idea as far as they were concerned. They didn't want us to know that this was real and that they were really there. Look at that. That looks like, okay, there we are again. This happens so much throughout this 1 minute and 41 second video that it becomes it becomes ridiculous to start saying it's pareidolia. How many how pareidolia that it looks, that where everything looks like it could be an alien as described by people who have been abducted by them for decades. It becomes impossible. And as we know, it is impossible because we already know that we do have enough evidence that proves that there were most certainly. There's three creatures, as far as I'm concerned, that we could say with definitively were definitely there. Mr. Chase him out of the yard, Lurch, by the fence, and also undeniable backbreaker, UB. Okay, let's go through a little bit more. Look at this weirdness. I have no explanation for it. And this whole video, there's other sections of this video too. And I'll try to go through it as time goes on. Other people should go through it and check it out for themselves. I'll leave the link again, so you could download it to your own computer and you could try it out for yourself and see if there's anything that you could find. It's so funny. Again, I think about last year, when this story first came out, and people were all over the internet were looking at these videos trying to figure out if there's aliens there. Most people weren't seeing anything, including myself. I really was having trouble seeing anything. Their story to me sounded credible. I just couldn't see why these people would. I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine it being a hoax. I just couldn't imagine it. I just couldn't see it, and I felt that they were telling the truth from the beginning, but I just didn't think the video was good enough. But look at where we are now. Now it was more than good enough. We have, we just don't know what we were looking for. That's what it is. That's what it was. We just didn't know what we were looking for. Now we're starting to find it and see it's not what we expect. I think that's part of this. It's not what we expect. Look at, I just rewound this video here and I just noticed something else potentially over here. There, an eye there, an eye there. Is that something hiding in the shadows or using some technology to keep itself hidden? Could be. I don't know. Look at all this stuff going on here. There's just so much right here. That's, to me, that's probably an alien. It's just amazing, folks. It's just amazing. Wow. Anyway, now I'm going to go through some of the comments from the last couple of days, from the last from the previous episode. I received a lot of comments from the previous video, and let's. I guess we'll start with Spotify. Okay, this was for the episode from yesterday. New discoveries made in Las Vegas alien video. Daniel Harrington writes, there is no spiritual component to these visitors. Then why do they leave orbs, poltergeist activity, hitchhiker effect, and other spiritual phenomena in their wake? I'm not concluding they're demons. I think that's too simplistic a conclusion. But one still has to factor and make some explanation to the elements in these cases that seem ethereal to us. Makes a strictly material conclusion harder to accept. If you don't call it spiritual, then what would you call it? I don't know. I mean, it seems like sorcery. It does, right? It does. It seems like sorcery. I mean, when you're looking at it, and I was thinking about it, when I was looking at this stuff today before I was getting ready, it reminded me of something out of a Sinbad movie, an old remember the Golden Voyage of Sinbad from the early 70s where the bad guy, he at the end, he was fighting sin. He made himself invisible with a cloak of darkness. Yeah, I mean, that's what it seems like, doesn't it? But I think I don't know how they're doing it or why they're doing it or what's going on, but it doesn't mean that, I know some people believe it's spiritual. I mean, I don't think that, but I don't think it's ghosts. I don't think it's demons. I don't think it's angels. It doesn't make me right? That's all I'm saying. I think it's extraterrestrial. I think they're coming from other planets. But hey, it doesn't make me right. Could be from other dimensions, could be from hell, like some people say. But I don't think that's the case. I think what they're doing here, they're just so advanced that they can fool us into thinking these things. This could be part of their game, right? This could be part of their game to make us think that it's something spiritual. But I don't think it is. It seems to me that they have some sort of a program, and it's a physical program, according to a lot of people who have dealt with them over the years. I mean, Whitley Strieber, among thousands of other people who have talked about this in different books. A comment from Kenmore 2023 says, "I all Van Day Jim is wow. Looking forward to that interview." I don't know what that means. Tony Barnes says, it's amazing the response, or rather the lack of response, from the big names in the UFO community. I actually emailed Ross Coulthart when you and Scott first exposed the goings-on at the Kenmore residence, Vindication Day, suggesting he should at least watch it, not realizing at the time he and Scott actually know each other. I'd expect the usual debunker's response, but when the denial comes from supposed researchers like Ben Hansen and Jeremy Corbell, WTF. Here's the thing. On this podcast, I mean, basically, this is the hidden secret right now, and that's maybe okay with me. A lot of people out there are still in the bunkers are making absolute, total, unbelievable fools out of themselves at this point. I mean, if there's, I go on, I see Mick West still having arguments with Marek Rennenkamp and on Twitter X about whether some of them Pentagon UFO videos are anomalous or not. You know what? He's making a fool out of him. So all of them are. If you're still out there actively trying to debunk stuff, you're making a fool out of yourself. You should be doing something else. But you know what? I don't mind that this is a little secret out there in the internet, because that's basically what it seems like. Because as far as anyone should be concerned, this ends the debate. We have the proof, and we, as more time goes on, this just it shows it. I mean, there's nothing you could. There's no denying it. I mean, it's over, right? It's just like we've been talking about on here. But, I don't know. It's fine. If that's how they want to handle it, that's how they want to handle it. I don't know. It's a lot. I mean, some people might not be able to handle this. I mean, there's been some people who actually told me it was very unnerving for them when they realized it. Just recently, some people were actually upset with me and were tired of me talking about this case. But then they realized, oh my God, this is real. They didn't think that there was enough evidence there, but now they're there because it's basically I think for a lot of them, Mr. Undeniable Backbreaker is what got them over the hump. And as you see, there was more going on there as we continue to look at this closer. There's just a lot going on there, and it's unexplainable. It's just so weird. Okay, Liz says, always so great to watch your podcast. We are very grateful for all that you do to unearth the truth regarding otherworldly information. Well, thank you very much for that very nice comment. Christopher Scott King says, this video is full of surprises. There's no denial. The proof is there. I wonder what Mick West is thinking about this. Well, let me tell you something. Mick West is, like I said, he's like a modern day Simon Newcomb, that astronomer back in the early 1900s who said just a couple months before the Wright brothers had their famous flight, saying that it's impossible for heavier than aircraft to be ever flown by man. And then the rest was history. And then he still was denying. And after it happened, he said, "Oh, there's no. Well, okay, then if they flew it, well, then." Okay, one guy was only in it, so it's never going to be. You're never going to be have any other passengers. And as we know, that just was totally wrong. So, as far as I'm concerned, Newcomb during the 1800s was a very well-known and respected astronomer. But as far as I'm concerned, he's a laughingstock in my mind because look at how he was acting. See, it's pompous. It's pompous at this point to pretend there's nothing here. And to pretend that we don't have the evidence now, if you're going to just, basically it goes to show you, right, what this does, right? At this point, if you're denying it, then it just goes to show you that these people are just, anyone who's telling you that this isn't real, that there's nothing that we don't have the proof now, they're being disingenuous, or they're just I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. So I don't know what their game is or why they continue to be this way. And I know that a lot of them out there have to know about this. You know that they know. And you know who else knows too is the Pentagon, right? And we're almost at the 3-month anniversary of me sending that letter out, and they never responded. The silence tells you all you need to know. I mean, how are they going to respond? How are they going to respond? It's just, the more you look at the video, the more, the more is there. I mean, the more you look into this whole case, the more that is there. And there's other things that I'm still looking into with regard to this that I haven't talked about yet, but at some point in the future I will be. And it's just an amazing case. This is the one that, as far as anyone should be concerned, is the one that got us across the red line. So when you have all these debunkers on there, like on the internet, saying that Lou Elizondo's a liar, or it's all crazy, all these people, Skinwalker Ranch, or that's all crackpot stuff. When you hear debunkers saying this stuff, they're actually incredibly disingenuous, because we have evidence that shows that there is some sort of a presence here now, and so those things that these people are talking about, the David Grushes, the Lou Elizondos, all these people, obviously there's been crash retrievals and reverse engineering programs. There's just so much evidence we already have for that, with so much evidence. Anyway, let's go over to, we're going to shoot over to YouTube and read some comments from there. Here's one from John Boy HST 6448. Says, I'll never forget, we was watching the first Fury versus Wilder fight at my late father's house in Kentucky. My friend and I stepped outside for a pee around 11:30 p.m. The fight just ended, and we were still excited and nervous after watching the end of the fight. While using the bathroom, we seen an orange orb with what appeared to be a box on the inside. The object came straight down from the sky very slowly and just stopped around 200 feet or less for maybe 30 seconds, and then started slowly climbing back up. All of a sudden, like a streak of light, the object took off toward the east, and so fast it was like a blur or a streak of light. Sorry, I have no other words to describe the speed that thing showed. I have never seen anything in my life like that before or since. It was amazingly fast and unforgettable. You will never be a true believer until you see one for yourself. Amazing. Yeah, I saw, it does, I would think that, yeah, for a lot of people, they have to see it to believe it. And, hopefully that's what, we're doing here on this channel here, to trying to show people absolute evidence here and absolute proof that shows that there was something here. When you, as far as I'm concerned, if you take in you look at all the evidence connected with this case, there's only one conclusion. Mr. Jumps says, my coworker lived 3 houses down from them. She thought this was all part. Mr. Jumps is talking about, MJ Jumps is talking about the Vegas case. My coworker lived 3 houses down from the Kenmore family. She thought this was all part of Project Bluebeam, which is a trendy thing for people to say, but I can see why she was hoping for that. Most people would blank their pants knowing these beings are in their hood. Colleen Ross replied saying, I blank my pants knowing they're in our country, let alone my hood. I think about this family often and pray for them. What a shocking situation. Yeah, a lot of people are, there was a lot of different replies to that. Uh, you know, you know, yeah. Yeah, well, they're not living there anymore, apparently. Bill Davis says, I've lost respect for many in the UFO community for avoiding this important case that is backed up by concrete evidence. Do they have ulterior motives? I don't know. I don't know. I just, it could be. It could be that that even people in the UFO community, people that have been chasing that car, like, just like a dog. A dog's chasing a car, and, what happens when the dog catches the car? They don't know what to do with it. It could be something as simple as that. I just don't know. I don't know. Or it could be that if I mean easily. Let's just talk about this for a second. If anyone in the mainstream news were to pick up this story and start talking about it every night during their news broadcasts on CNN or Fox or MSNBC or any of the channels, ABC News, any of them, right? And if the New York Times and the Washington Post started reporting on this, as they should, because it is the biggest story of all time, people would believe it. But it's like it's just the way it is. I mean, people are they'll only listen to the big news places for the most part. That's where most people get their news from. They're not going to get it from some small little podcast. So as long as this is the area where it stays for now, then it's basically, it's not full disclosure. It's disclosure for anyone who's looked at this evidence. You're there. It's over. I mean, right? You have the evidence, and if anybody ever were to come up to you and say, "Hey, I think you're crazy for believing in aliens and UFOs," all you have to say is, "Well, you better sit down. I have something to show you," and then you would know what to do. And then they would walk away knowing that it's real. It could be that's how this information gets out to the world slowly. Maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know. You would have thought that some of the bigger names in the UFO community would have been talking about this more. But hey, you know what? We got to maybe it's a good idea to take it slow too. I don't know. Maybe just because I think it's maybe because I think ripping the Band-Aid off is the way to go doesn't make me right, or any of us who think that way right. I mean, but. It's a giant deal. It really is. It's a giant deal. But again, if any of those mainstream news outlets were to start talking about this and presenting this evidence that we've been talking about on here for months, then the world would know. I mean, it would be as simple as that. And the Pentagon would probably have to start answering questions. And this time, right, here's the thing about this. When this story gets out there, when it gets really out there, right? When everybody's talking about it, all the mainstream news channels start talking about this, if they ever do, maybe we'll get something from the Pentagon first, and then people will come back to this one. Maybe that's how it will work. Maybe we'll get an announcement from them first. But if, like, say it doesn't, say people across the world, like everyone starts looking at this and realizing, oh my God, yeah, this is real. Then you're going to have governments of the world, including the officials from the Secret Control Group and/or Pentagon, are going to have to make a statement, right? And they're going to have to talk. I mean, people are going to hope and pray that there has been reverse engineering programs and crash retrieval and reverse engineering programs. Because if the Pentagon were to step forward now after people see this and say, "You have no idea what's going on here," right? Then that's more upsetting when you really think about this. You want them to have been studying this secretly for all these years. That's how. And a lot of us know that they have been, right? This has been covered up. They've been secretly researching this stuff. They've been looking into this, and they've been keeping it quiet for various reasons. But when they step forward and they finally say, "Hey, look at," they're going to have to probably say something to the effect of, "Hey, we're going to, don't worry about it. There's nothing to worry about. We were on top of this. Give some sort of an impression that there's nothing that could be concerned about." That's probably what they're going to do. What else could they do? What else could they do? And also, Bill Davis says, "I'm starting to think the distortion of smoke and fog is part of the alien cloaking technology." Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. There's some sort of a smoke or fog back in that one area, like near that heavy equipment. It's just very strange. Sandy W says, how has no one picked up on the entity at the back of the forklift facing left that blinks? To me, that was the most compelling evidence. Two eyes blinking. Yeah, I'm gonna look into more of this as time goes on, step by step. I'm taking it step by step, Sandy. Step by step. There's a lot of stuff in that video, and it takes time to go through all of it. Love in Let Live says, I saw a UFO on the way to work last week. My vehicle is messed up, so I am getting a ride to work for a while, and I was watching the thunderstorm happening. Then I saw a white orb in the distance, and it zipped by the vehicle. It was about 300 yards away at its nearest. It was going real fast. I have been thinking about making a channel covering UAP updates and abduction stories, and that definitely helped me commit to the task. Editing my first video now. First one I've seen, and I've spent a bit of time trying to see them. Well, that's great. I think if you're someone out there who thinks that you can go on the internet and or have your own podcast and do your own show all the time, that's great, because we need more people need to be doing this. Actually, that's how you get the word out. I mean, that's the way to do it. The more people out there talking about this, the better. Then we get the information out there. More people should be on their podcast talking about this case on a regular basis. This will get the word out. Mary Berry says, Jimmy, I want to say thank you for keeping this story going. When I first saw the Las Vegas video when it was released on May 1st, I noticed two things: a being straight forward in front of them, I would say about 20 to 25 feet away, and the blurred out being above the fence. I put the video in my Photoshop to get a better and clearer image for myself, and that evening, not even knowing about beings sitting in the tractor, I could detect them. There are entities in this video, no doubt. Another topic I want to bring up is that maybe this case is being closely looked at and being investigated, but no one is saying anything. Look at all the FOIA requests John Greenwald has done and all the information that he has shared over the years that we had no idea was going on in our government. I really think there is something in the Las Vegas video, and people are being hush-hush about it because they have been told to shut up. Love your videos and all the work you put into your channel because you're not spreading crappy content. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Mary. Yeah, I mean, there could be. I would imagine that there are people in the government that looked at that video and they know. I mean, if they didn't look at it before I sent them that letter, they looked at it now. Right? I think that they looked at it before. They know about this. They know that there were beings in the yard. What are they going to do? They actually, there were those cameras, those Homeland Security cameras that they put up. Sensational 96 says, this is great footage. Angel said they have big eyes and a big mouth. I wouldn't be surprised if he has more footage that was confiscated. There just has to be security camera footage from this incident as well. Well, that's the thing. There was no security camera footage. There were on the Kenmore property. There were security cameras there, and there was security cameras on neighbor's property. But for some reason, when that object came down, the security cameras weren't working. Now, whether they picked up anything else after the object came down, I don't know. I just don't know. You see what happens when they're filming with the cell phone. I mean, obviously there was some sort of interference going on, some sort of scrambling. Who knows? I don't know. But I know that the cameras did go out on the Kenmore's. The security cameras didn't film anything from on the Kenmore's property or a neighbor's property. Utah John 777 says, Jim, sell tickets to see you in Vegas hotel conference room to talk with followers about this. Charge a fee, charter a bus to go by the scene. I'm only a 2-hour drive from Vegas. I would be there. Your first personal quirk alien con. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, Heiser Soze says, wow, Jimmy, this is huge news. This is all we ever wanted. Peer review. Thank you to you and Scott Roeder and team for the time for mainstream and the haters to come to terms with this. Yeah, it's been yeah, I don't know. They're gonna have to come to terms with it at some point, right? There's gonna be some point people are gonna have to come to terms with it. And like I said, if anybody were to come forward, here's the whole thing. We finally have somebody who is saying that we'll see. We'll see if this report comes out. It's 7 to 10 days. He says he's having lawyers look over it. We'll see what it says from that AdaptNet AI. We'll see, and we'll take it from there. But I don't see how. I've been telling people on this show, there's no way this is ever going to get debunked. There's no way. I mean, if anybody tried to do it, I mean, they're going to make fools out of themselves. I mean, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I mean, once you sit there and you think about this, how could anybody possibly debunk it? There's no way it could ever happen, ever. Another one from Bill Davis. There are certain cases that I back up 100%. This is one of them. It has nothing to do with being a fan and supporter of your podcast. This is because of the evidence, and yes, that's true. The evidence is everything here, I wrote back. It comes with numerous receipts. Jacket Rocket writes, Jim, we already know these craft display in our reality with distorted time effects skipping around. What if Angel heard thousands of footsteps from a single being, which took place over a long period of time for them and in an instant for Angel? That's a weird theory. The NHI themselves could move through time differently, at least from our perception. It could be like when we do a long exposure with a camera, one person appears multiple times moving around one image. Yes, I was thinking the same thing. That's what I was thinking when you look at that one picture that we were talking about earlier. It would be the ultimate solution to human interference. Manipulate time to do what you need to do while we all appear to them as frozen and they appear to us as moving instantaneously all around us at an unnatural speed. Yeah, back in this, I remember watching shows before. This is something that comes to mind. There was an old, from the 60s, there was a Wild Wild West episode and also a Star Trek episode where there were, in the Wild Wild West episode, it's the same concept. In this TV show was like a James Bond in the Old West called the Wild Wild West. And in the one episode, there was this guy came up with this serum that could make him move so fast that nobody could see him, right? And then there was a Star Trek episode where there was these beings that actually moved extremely fast, and you can't see them because they're moving so fast. So is that what's going on? I don't know. It's too hard for me to wrap my head around. I mean, that's something for scientists. They should be the ones looking at this and coming up with some potential, some speculation. I could be. I don't know though. I mean, who knows? Who knows what they're doing? I mean, it could just be some form of interference too. I mean, it could be that they're moving fast. It could be that they're using some sort of cloaking technology. I have no explanation for that smoke that we see. This haze or fog or whatever it is. There's no explanation. One thing that's funny is that somebody once suggested to me that what if the two incidents that I had, what if from the aliens' perspective, the first time they knew of me was in 1994 when I saw the UFO during the fishing trip, and then the second time was when they knew of me was they somehow went back in time when I was a little kid and showed up in my room. Somebody suggested that to me one time. That was a weird. Maybe they have a way to manipulate time. Maybe they could travel into the past and the future. Who knows? I just don't know. We have no answers on what's going on. C. Coop says, notice two of the aliens from the turkey video have 3 fingers. Oh, yeah, that's the kind I saw. 3-fingered alien. Mr. Scott says, and with everybody here, this is the best case I have seen in a while. Keep up the great work. Rogan always has a CIA person on his show after every alien discussions. Wonder why. The CIA is trying to keep the lid on these stories. Yeah, they have been. I think they're losing their grip on this, though. Yeah, you have to look at it. We're moving towards some sort of a discussion publicly about it. Really, I mean, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have this UAP Disclosure Act. I mean, you wouldn't have a bipartisan group pushing for that. If they didn't realize we got to tell the people, because they're not going to be able to contain this kind of stuff that you see in Vegas. This is going to happen again. People are going to capture these things on camera somehow as time goes on. You're not going to be able to contain this forever. Leslie Gann says, my thoughts on the pareidolia effect, that sometimes when pareidolia happens, it is because there really is a there hiding below the surface of it that can only be seen in glimpses, such as in these videos. That the mist-like distortion the aliens made also creates more of a pareidolia effect on purpose so that other people will just label it as pareidolia. Bill Davis again says, when you start painting your windows, it's time to move, unfortunately. Yep, he's talking about the when Angel painted the bathroom window because there was some little creature, apparently he felt, looking in at him. Pathfinder says, you kept this case rolling. Good job. You're like a pit bull with a bone. Yes, we need to keep the case going. I always hoped that other people would keep it going as well, and that really hasn't happened. There are some channels out there on YouTube and that talk about this case a lot, have talked about it before a lot. But I think this is something that the scientists need to be studying, that they should have been studying. It's very unfortunate when you think about it. The family has moved. People say, okay, that's what the reports say, and I'm assuming the reports are true. So the family was very upset with what happened. They should have been on this last year. They left go a golden opportunity. You don't know who's in it for a while. I don't know what the story is with that property right now. Who knows? Somebody else could be moving in there, and you'll never get a chance to examine it, or it's a shame. It really is. It's something that the ball was dropped on that. But you know what? It does. In a way, it doesn't matter. In a way, it does not matter. We already have enough evidence that shows that there was something there. So, in that sense, it doesn't matter. But it would have been better to do a recreations on the property, that's what Scott Roeder wanted to do, but it never happened. A guy says, it's good to hear the Kenmore family moved. It seemed like the alien encounter was going to continue to haunt them in that house. Maybe the family will have an easier time dealing with seeing these beings now that they left home. And Randy McKernan responded to that saying, yes, hopefully the family will have a benefit from moving away from that property. Let's also hope they don't experience any hitchhiker effects. Yes, hopefully no hitchhiker effects. John Boy HS says, I see it now. The backbreaker. Dang gone, you was right. Yes. Yeah, some people didn't see it before. And then, you keep presenting it and trying to, present it in as a clear way as you possibly can, and people will see it. Yeah. And Carrie Nichols writes, thank you again for digging deeper and showing the world this footage. Is the landing on the White House lawn only choosing a kid named Angel's backyard instead, as clearly he would be less likely to shoot at them, all 40 of them. Thank you for all your awesome forensic study and analysis. This extra set of beings are mind-blowing in their obviousness when you slow it down and focus in. Yeah, thanks a lot for that, for these comments like that. That was very nice. So I do appreciate it. Randy McKernan says, kind of cool that you are tagged along with some of the most well-known people currently in the UFO community. Yep, he was talking about that Twitter post from the gentleman who has said that who is confirming Scott Roeder's analysis. Colleen Ross says, I'm always up for analysis of this video. It never gets old. Yeah, it doesn't get old. Really, when you really think about it, it doesn't get old. I mean, when you're finally, we read a lot of books, a lot of us interested in this subject, read a lot of books, you watch a lot of documentaries, and you want to see more evidence. And here you actually have something. You have something to sink your teeth in. There's something here. You have the proof finally. And you can look at it, and there's more to look at. There's, like I said, I talked about this before. It's like a gold mine. It's a gold mine. And again, anybody who's interested in doing their own analysis of the video, I'll leave a link again in the description. And if you hit that link, you'll be able to download your own private copy of that video, and you could check it out for yourself and do your own analysis on it. I mean, this is awesome. It's great. It's very interesting. I mean, this is like a dream in a way for people who have been interested in this, because it's the verification. It shows that this is real, and people need to know finally. Here, the people that haven't don't believe this, right? Well, guess what? It's too bad you were wrong, because here you go. There's nothing you can do about it. And enjoy. Anyway, I want to say we're gonna end it with that. I just want to say, I guess one more time. We're gonna play this. I just want to look at this one more time. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. It's so weird, all of this stuff. Here, I want to look at right here. Look at this thing. There it is. See? There it is. I think that this, I don't know what's going on here, but I think this is a match right there. Yep, there you go. Anyway, I want to say thank you all for joining me. Until next time.